wait 15 minutes for somebody to figure out how to put their names on the overlay. Welcome to a podcast between the greatest of friends.
Not like
how y'all doing?
Greatest of friends that aren't scared to point fingers at other friends who fuck up and do idiotic stuff. Austin.
That's how you know we trust each other, right?
Trust each other with our lives. You guys are both anointed as my child's my future children's godfathers, but there can be only one, so y'all gotta fight it out.
Oh fuck!
Doing some on-the-spot editing.
On-the-spot editing. All right. Well, while you do that, I'm going to ask the question of the week. Oh my gosh! Wait.
It's so bad.
So we all play League of Legends.
Oh no. Star Guardian Urgot.
That's a good answer, but not the question. If you could only play one champion for the rest of time, assuming you play League of Legends for a while without quitting, who would you pick and why?
I think I'm gonna go with my OG hero champion, Renekton. It was the first hero champion, that I mained, and I don't think, and I've always enjoyed playing him unless if I get my ass kicked, and he's always been more or less meta. Like, he's never been a troll pick. Like, he's definitely not as good as before, but like, he still has his role in. Like, he's still picked.
Is he?
He's never been like shit tier, especially in solo queue.
He's just been like mid tier because he starts off as a pretty strong 1v1 and it's if you suck, you just go into tank, just like all whatchamacallit. So you still have, it's just he's not so great like late game, but still okay. Like, he's also fun to play. Mad sustainability. Whew.
He always feels
I finally
like
fixed the chat. I'm just pointing that out. I'm proud of myself.
All right, buddy. I'm glad you.
Okay, now our problem child, Austin. What's your answer?
If I go out play one champion in League, fucking Rakan. Like, it's not even a contest. That guy is so fucking fun.
Oh, yeah, I guess I should have expected that. You've been like spamming that shit for.
You have a hard on for him, dude.
I do. He's pretty cool. Like, he just has. I feel like he has everything I want. I want or need in a champion, and I can build him any way I want or need. Like,
he's everything you want and need in a boyfriend.
Yep.
Alright, yeah, I think I'm normally a Thresh main, but I think I would go Bard. I just always have fun playing him. Like, sometimes I fuck up and I like use Tempered Fate on my own team and then we lose the team fight because of me.
That's the best part.
But sometimes, I mean, he's so versatile, and the way he uses his abilities is so unique. I just feel like I'm never limited in terms of my options or frustrated with what I'm doing. If that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair.
I feel you.
Bard's just like one of those champions though, where I could like turn up all the sound effects he makes.
That's basically me with DJ Sona.
Okay.
What the fuck? Are you high?
This is the sounds he makes. Yeah. Plus, you can give your friends like hot cocoa if you have the best skin.
Best skin. Okay.
Yeah, the best skin. The Snow Day Bard. Come on.
Rakan needs a good skin. Rakan's release skin was garbage.
Yeah.
Rakan had a released skin?
Right?
Oh yeah.
So bad.
It was. It's a very meh.
It's just like a skin because they wanted to give Xayah a cool skin, so they had to give Rakan a skin, and like wasn't really there thematically. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you can always wait. They did just release the new Star Guardian lineup.
Oh my god. Star Guardian. Okay, every Star Guardian skin that came out, other than Syndra, did not need a new skin.
Yeah, isn't Ari one of them or something?
Yeah, Ari does
Like,
not
why?
need a freaking new skin. Like, why?
Although I do love Star Guardian Ezreal. My only complaint, my only qualm is there's no Star Guardian Tarek.
I was thinking
that would
more
actually
Star
be
Guardian
pretty good.
Urgot, but like, you know.
Like
I don't think-
Tarek already flies into battle like wielding his hammer, like flies with
His
his
hair's
hammer
already
in front
like
of him.
flowing.
His hair's already, yeah, exactly. Why not give him a Star Guardian?
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I just think Riot, it's like Riot doesn't know what's good for them. They just don't know.
Well, I guess they know how to make money. There was a recently published article. I don't remember exactly, but maybe was it Slingshot Esports? I'm not entirely sure. But the article basically said League of Legends is still #1 game in the world for 2017 so far. Which is not like new news because it was destroying everybody last year also. But to all the naysayers, people saying League is dying already, it's still doing pretty well.
Okay, I do want to point out someone just said Star Guardian Poppy is the best skin, and that was my personal favorite of the previous releases. I didn't.
Jinx wasn't that great. Like, it was the most expensive with the most sparkly effects, but like Poppy is just simple and clean and like very cute. And
I was also a Poppy main when I started playing this game. Like back when Poppy like did massive fucking damage with just a Triforce. Like,
oh lord,
do you remember that? Like I'm like season like 1.5, where just
season 1.5.
you'd hit someone with an E against the wall and Q them, and they'd be like 20 HP.
Back in my fucking day, at season 1.5. Oh.
What?
But
Okay,
yeah,
well,
Poppy was great.
I really like the Poppy redesign at least. Like old Poppy was kind of shitty, I'll say.
Old Poppy was really good until every other champion released after her was better. Like that's just how it was. Like
that's how League of Legends work, though. They literally like make new champions, and it's just like, oh shit, our old champions suck.
Did either
Let's
of you see the new
rework some
champion,
super
by the
old
way?
one.
Did you see
Orn.
the what?
Yes,
There's
have
so
you seen
much
Orn?
porn of him.
Oh yeah.
There's so much fucking furry porn. It's
Dude,
ridiculous.
His ult looks
Wait,
amazing.
how? What? He only came out 2 days ago. How?
I know.
And why would you know that?
Okay, so I used this website called Tumblr. I was just like, let's
Oh,
see if
no.
anyone made fan art of Orange. And then I typed in Orange, and I was just like, what is?
Oh boy. It's like I guess I should have known.
It's just like, and then I'm just like,
Yeah, I mean, I definitely like someone just posted the same guy just posted Driver Against Love. Yes, that
Yeah.
champion was like
Especially,
not, especially since everyone can get over his wall, right? Like,
and Orin, I think, can destroy walls. I didn't read up on his kit too much, but I saw that in a video where he was like
Yeah.
destroying Nivea.
yep, he can
Well-
destroy any player mid terrain. So
Fuck.
if you Trundle Pillar, just say goodbye to Talia ever being a thing ever, because now her only like usefulness is
Talia's
gone.
not even a thing anymore. Talia's
Well,
like,
I think people use her ult more for the mobility as much as for the actual wall it makes.
Well, because
So I
it
don't
was like
think
a
she's, like,
guaranteed
useless.
kill. It was a
'Cause it's
guaranteed
like-
kill bot lane when she roamed, though. And now it's like, if you have an orange support, it doesn't even
Yeah,
fucking
okay.
matter anymore. You just charge through the fucking wall.
That's fair.
But I see
think,
what you mean. Like, the mobility is pretty good, though.
Yeah. I've. Yeah, I was just thinking of like Talia. She's kind of pushed out the old Twisted Fate, where nobody plays TF anymore because Talia just has like a better lane phase.
that's fair.
Which good, because I fucking hate that change. really care about TF.
But let's
Boy.
face it, TF, like attack speed TF, so much fun. 80 carry TF, so much fun.
I have a friend that calls that the Yami Yugi build. I guess Yami Yugi is.
Oh my god, no!
Just fucking AFK and auto them to
fucking
death.
triggered.
I think he showed me the video, but
No, oh my god.
this guy that goes like attack speed on hit TF and just fucking wails on people by like AFKing and leaving the auto, like the regular NPC controlled auto attack.
Wow.
Wow.
But yeah. Okay, so shying away from that. Last quip, I do respect Bard. I think that's actually really fucking good skin, but still gotta go with Snow Day. Anyways, the relevant topic that's going on last week and this week is the International. So, for anyone that's not hip to Dota, the International is basically their world championship, where they have the best teams in the world duke it out in like a 2-week tournament. I think it's just 2 weeks. I was watching a bit of it last weekend, but I understand you all don't really follow Dota.
Yeah, I was thinking in my head, you're like, for anyone who doesn't understand Dota, I'm like, 66% of the podcast. Just like, literally everyone but you.
Okay.
I actually, the only thing I know about TI is that the prize pool is ridiculous. And
As it always is.
I know, but like, Jesus, what is it at now? Like 28 million? 27? Let me check.
I don't know when they close it.
Never? Just give me all the
huge.
money? Like, oh my god, it's actually ridiculous. Like, it's funny because League is the most played game in the world, but why is their prize pool so small? Like,
Yeah.
That is a great question. I guess it wasn't originally part of what I was going to talk about, but I think it's interesting.
do you think they have to pay taxes on them?
I don't know. I've never looked into like legislation on that. Also,
it's
especially if you're
60,000.
coming from like a different country.
Oh my god. First
the only
place? Okay. I am gonna read out. Okay. Dota's played with a team of 5 or 6. 5, okay. Standard Dota. Okay, so let's assume that the team is 5 players, 1 coach, 2 managers, and like, let's say like 15 miscellaneous staff members. First place gets $10.56 million.
That's a lot of goddamn money. That's like at least
USD,
over a million.
not CAD, because the moment that turns to CAD, that's like 8.90 million USD.
Okay.
Fucking hell.
Okay, well,
Second place is 3.84 million, which is still quite a bit. Third place is 2.5. Fourth place is 1.7. Fifth place is 1 million. Sixth place is also 1 million. Seventh and eighth, 600,000, and then it just goes down from there. And 16th place still gets $60,000. That's still pretty high for someone who's like fucking 16.
yeah. I think I saw it goes even to 18th place when I was looking at it.
Oh, sorry,
And I
it
was
was 18th
really
place, yeah.
confused because if you have a tournament bracket, you have like a best of 16, and you.
Oh yeah.
I guess if they're doing double elimination, maybe that works out to 18. I don't know. That was a little confusing to me, but it's a lot of fucking money, even if you're not doing super well.
Yeah.
Yeah, like imagine if League definitely has enough money to do that. It's just they don't want to.
Right. So Valve largely crowdsources the prize pool.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know if we can even compare how much like League invested in the tournament last year, because to say like, wow, League Riot is cheap or something, because the Riot invests like monumentally more in growing the amateur and low performing teams, like via the LCS and guaranteed player salaries, which they're bumping up to like what, 70 grand for when the franchising comes out in NA, I think was the last figure I saw, that's like just for players, not to mention they like made their own studio, hire their own producers and stuff. So it's like that. I think it's awesome that Dota 2 has the pinnacle of esport earnings. And if you look at there's like a website that tracks esport players' top earnings via prize pools, and the top like 50 are just all Dota 2 players. And it makes it like a amazing headline when you're like kind of generalizing esports or saturating into the kind of mainstream media. But then
definitely saying that, the first place team, 5 players and coaches and blah blah blah, the prize pool, like the winner gets $10.5 million. Like,
you cut off for me. I don't know about you, Austin.
Nope.
But yeah, like, hello? Hi.
Oh, Rez's shit is doing shit again.
Oh no.
Yeah, before this, he was like trying to tell me about applying for an MBA, and he's like, "Yeah, so what you want to do is," or something like that, and he just cut off for like 10 minutes, and he's like, "And that's why I'm not an ideal candidate to tell you," and I'm just like, "What the fuck?"
Oh shit. Okay. I think my internet just lagged for a second. Last time it was because I was plugging in a new microphone and Discord got confused.
Oh.
Okay, I don't know what happened there. You're saying it's a lot of money, right, Amber?
Oh yeah, and then definitely like some people who are just like, esports is just kids playing games, and there's nothing special about it, and these kids should be going out and being productive members of society, something like that.
Yeah.
And you're just like, yeah, but you do realize like they're making like one, even if it's like first place, like the first place they take home $1 million and like per player, I'm assuming, or something less than that. It's still like friggin' 6 digits, man. And these people are like in their like early 20s, and it's literally like, holy freaking shit, that's a lot
of money. Sports stars.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just like, you want to know how serious this shit is? You're probably making more money than you are.
And I think a lot of that reaction comes from because if you have an adult, or I say adult, I mean, I guess we're adults, but somebody that's the generation older than us.
You mean people who adult better than us?
Yeah, definitely. Well, I think anything positive is higher than me personally. But anyways, their exposure to video games or what entails playing a video game is limited to when they're in college or something, or when they're young and they actually had exposure to that with like arcade. If you told me somebody earned $2 million from optimized playing Pac-Man, I would be impressed, but I'd be like kind of shocked. I'm like, wow, how complex can you get in Pac-Man? Surely there's like an optimized strategy, and past that, there's like how much room for improvement is there? And they can't even like grasp the magnitude of complexity that esport games have, just in the variability of what each player brings to the match.
Oh yeah, definitely. I definitely do agree with that. And the moment that you show them like what the game entails, like you don't even have to dealing with investors. Like a lot of them they're curious as to like who like who would be interesting, like who would be interested in stuff like this? And then they start thinking, oh, is it like the 40-year-old virgins living in their parents' basements? Is it like 13-year-old kids who play Minecraft? I think you tell them, it's just like, actually the age of most, like about 75% of the gamers are between the ages of 16 and like 35, and most of these people after these ages are educated, and the gender split is like, I think it's like 60-40 or like something like that. But the thing is, like, a lot of people are just like, oh, then why isn't there a lot of people who, like, you know, who like don't make it into, like, where there are not a lot of females who make it into like the pro scenes, or, and it's just like they're just not as, some of them are just not as competitive, and it's just, you know, like, I'm not like, they're gamers, yeah, but doesn't mean a large percentage of them are playing the same games as you are. Like, for example, I personally, as a female, I don't like competitive games that much. Like, it gives me unneeded stress that, you know, like, sometimes I can live without. Like, but, you know, playing with friends relieves some of that stress. But sometimes, like, females, they don't have as many of their female friends to play with, and playing with guys can just, you know, cause unnecessary traction. And that's why, like, playing like MMORPGs, playing RPGs, playing console games, playing games like Destiny, playing games like Dark Souls, Bloodborne, like Zelda, like a lot of these games, you can't say that girls who play these games aren't considered true gamers just because they don't play.
Because they don't play what?
It, like, you're not a true gamer because you don't know. Like, that's not how it works. The world has so many games that you need to learn how to cater to each audience. Esports is just one aspect of video games, but, you know.
Yeah.
Yes, and Destiny is bad.
And obviously I don't identify as female. Well, not yet. I didn't mean to say obviously to that. But I mean, I don't identify as female, but I've had a lot of close coworkers that are female in the gaming industry, or like at school. I've talked to a bunch of people, and there's so much just shit from the community that they have to deal with on like scales way higher than anyone that's male. Like, every time you if for instance, if you have a female in Challenger, every time she makes like a single mistake, it's people are gonna be spamming chat like lol girls, like lol, yeah, typical girl gamer, like you fucking suck, get out of here. And you get that scrutiny with you get that kind of scrutiny if you're a pro anyways, but it's so much more magnified because people see you as like a representation of everyone else, and they want to find, a lot of times they want to find reasons for you to fail, if that makes sense.
Speaking of girl gamers, by the way, did anyone hear how Supergirl went? Like the convention for like girl gamers they just hosted?
I kind of heard about that, but I heard from
Eugenia, but I haven't heard from it that much.
I just know like Eugenia like dropped off the face of the planet around the time of that event, and like now she's just starting to be alive.
Yeah, she's been busy, but like hats off to her for like doing something like that. Like, definitely drawing attention to the amount of girls that do play. But speaking of like girl gamers, did you guys read or heard about the article about this Korean Overwatch female player who was so good at Overwatch that pro players thought she was hacking?
Yeah, I did hear about that. That is awesome. I love this story.
Okay, Austin, we haven't heard about this story. Basically,
I heard about it. I read an article on it earlier today, but
yeah, okay. For our viewers, if you guys don't know, basically there's this girl named forgot her name, but her nickname is like Froggy in Korean, and basically she's a tank support player for Overwatch, but she's like actually really good. And people like she's so good to a point where like pro players saw her gameplay or who had played with her are just like, fucking, you're hacking, man. Like, if you're not if they find out that you're not hacking, I'm quitting the scene. Like, I quit the game. Like, and then Blizzard did an investigation and found out, holy shit, she's not actually hacking. So almost like, I think like 90% of the people, like one of them was a coach who was just like, oh, like, you're definitely hacking. Was just like, I deeply apologize for what I've said, and then he just like fell off. He just fell off the face of the earth and just went like, I deeply apologize, and like I promised, I'm gonna get the fuck out, and he got the fuck out. Yeah. And then another one was a manager of a team. He disbanded the team after that.
Damn.
Yeah.
And I think there was like quite a few people, and it's just like, holy fucking shit, like.
Yeah, honestly, like,
clap
fuck
back.
those guys.
You get him!
Yeah, absolutely shit stomped by Blizzard backing her up.
Yeah, and like, I really like when Blizzard steps in, because in the early days of Overwatch there was a lot of hacking, and Blizzard just literally just went like, okay, we're banning everyone who hacks, and then the hackers had the gall to be like,
how could you ban
us? We paid money for your game. And it's just like, are you guys serious? Like, you're making the game 1,000 times less enjoyable, and you're complaining.
I'm glad they got fucking banned.
And it's like a permaban, since just like, I'm not paying money to buy another copy, and it's like, good, I don't think they want you back.
They had enough like player base to do that though. Like, they were like ridiculous in the very beginning of their game's launch. Like, the amount of people that bought that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I'm so happy that Overwatch seems to have a higher female representation in esports, because so I've said like before when talking to you guys that I really like content produced by like Monte Cristo and Thorin, but I really dislike them as people, and most of that is because like I think it's mostly Thorin, but Monty kind of perpetuates this idea as well, and like kind of just backs him up when they talk about it. But Thorin is like on the record saying females are genetically inferior and are not as good at video games and will not be pro gamers. And he's like, yeah, well, look at like League of Legends and Counter-Strike. There's no females, ergo, it's impossible for females, and they're like inherently inferior. But like, the fucking community kind of disenfranchising entire swaths of minority groups has such a huge effect. Like, if, for example, I like to kind of counter this with an example in League where there are almost no black League of Legends pros. If you think of how many black League pros you know, you can count like maybe 3. Like Afro, Nosyak.
That's it. That's all I can think of.
Like fucking 2 out of how many pros have there been in the 7-year history? And do you think black people are worse at video games? Fucking no. Go to any fighting game community. They just happen to like not be I don't know myself specifically factors that kind of contribute to that, but they're huge in the fighting game community. So like, it's just you just need like the right environment, and you need to not fucking hate on people when they come into a new kind of group and not
let their actions speak for themselves. I feel literally like just let them play, and that they suck. Like, they suck. There's probably like, for example, people can be like, yo, like, you're a girl, like, you're only gold, like, that's expected for a girl gamer, and it's just like, bruh.
Yeah.
Do you see how many guys are silver and bronze?
So I think Thorin's trying to like parallel like actual sports, so it's like with like esports, and then that like this is like the one like occasion where they don't line up. You know, like
Right.
I don't think your physical faculties have anything to do with like how well you can play a video game, and I think that's like everyone knows that like obviously like being this, if you're like a super buff athlete, it doesn't mean you play League of Legends better. That's just like
exactly.
It's just like common sense. So
that's actually really interesting. A lot of people wonder, hey, if you play like pro games, like if you play games competitively, why do you go to the gym? And it's just literally like people who are healthier actually do play games better because they're healthier.
Being healthier, yes. Being healthier, yes, but yes, but I'm talking about like being ripped doesn't give you any advantage. You know what I mean? Like yes, being fit.
I don't know.
To put it in another way, traditional sports emphasize gross motor movement and reward gross motor movement, which, yes, there is like generally males tend to have larger like of those kind of macro muscles in like their upper body specifically. But then esports uses fine motor movements, which actually I think in psychology studies favors females, where like usually you see that trend go the other way. But yeah, I think that's a big distinction and the reason why you can't take that parallel across. And I don't know if fine motor movements like necessarily translate to being the edge. I think we need like a brain analysis on Faker or something, but
yeah, there's something with that kid's brain, man.
What a fucking god. Alright. I don't want to talk about League too much though. I want to talk about the international. So when I was watching the tournament, they were talking about how it was I think it was IG something, some Chinese team versus Evil Geniuses, which is a North American organization. And they were talking about this match and hyping it up because the Evil Geniuses won the international a couple of years ago, and this Chinese team had won in like season 2 or season 3 or something. So there were 2 former world champions from China and North America, and they're like, who's better? This is going to be amazing. What a hype game. We're going to have to watch and see who's actually better. And I'm like, wow. This is like real drama and is actually relevant. It just kind of made me sad that like every time there's a league event, it's like, yeah, go CLG, but really SKT is gonna win a 4th title.
Right? Oh my god. I want NA to be relevant, and I actually want every region to be relevant because then it'd be more exciting and enticing to
definitely.
watch. Like, I am a big fan of EU, but like they're like the worst shitters that ever played League. Like,
oh my god!
I love them with a passion, and all of like my favorite players are EU players, but
yeah, it just like breaks my heart because I feel like also with like viewership, people are like jaded. Like, yeah, shit, it's Samsung Galaxy versus SK Telecom. Wow, I'm very invested in these 2 teams.
It's gonna come to the point where Riot's like, listen, you're gonna throw this game. we'll give you money to like boost viewership. I think that like it might come to that. I wouldn't put it past
fucking
definitely never.
You think
Riot has done some things that I'm like, I don't know if I necessarily agree with that decision. Like kind of the way they dealt with Renegades and some other things, but like no, I don't think match fixing is ever going to be a thing.
I wouldn't put it past any organization, especially in esports, without like. I don't know. I feel like it would. It could. I'm not saying it will. It could. It is a possibility that could happen.
As shitty as the current situation is, I do think it's actually a good indicator for how healthy the competitive scene is. That there's one team that completely steamrolls everybody every year. Which sounds kind of weird because you're like, that makes for boring competition. Why do I think it's healthy? But if, say you have every tournament, any fucking random team can win any game. It's a toss-up. That might lend itself to the idea where the game isn't as skill-reliant as it is just random happenstance-reliant. And the fact that one team can so consistently crush everybody's hopes and dreams, I think is at least an indicator that yes, there is no perfect ideal, and this is such like a deep level of competition that a team's even able to do this, if that kind of makes sense.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, I definitely do agree with that. And again, like that also develops a very interesting level of competition because it's literally like, yo, what does it take to take down this team? Like, how good do we have to be? What changes do we have to go through? And it's that level of competition that escalates the competitive scene and forces people to change. Forces, like, for example, like, one of the major flaws with the League of Legends Pro system is that literally, like, every region does their own thing. Every region has their own meta, and it's only like when Korea develops a new meta, takes like a week or like 2 weeks, and it's just like, oh, this is what the Koreans are doing, and then they do this. But you never see the opposite of it. Like when like North America does something, and Korea goes like, oh, North America is doing this. We should copy it. Because it's just like, oh, North America's doing this. They're fucking idiots.
Well, I wouldn't say that's entirely true. I've definitely heard the opposite from casters on LCS. I just can't think of like the specific instance. I think it was something to do with like the supports that were being played. Like,
yeah, there was. I think it was Immortals or CLG or something that it was last spring popularized range supports.
Yeah, it was something. It was something along the lines of that, and then like all the regions started not necessarily playing range supports, but picking up like ranged pocket picks that were interesting to see.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So I think
but
that
I'm
was
just
cool.
saying that is so much more like it's just established that.
It's definitely more prevalent the other way around.
Yeah. So yeah, what I'm just basically trying to say is that like, like I'm gonna use like business example. There's people who set the price and there's people who accept the price. So in this case, is the people who set the rules those who accept the rules. So most of the time, I say like 90% of the time, Korea and most of Asia, mostly Korea are the rule setters, and EU and NA and Latin America are those who accept the rules. They're just like, okay, I guess this is meta now. I guess we'll just play by that and change it to like how like I would like to play it. And sometimes that ends up being better. Those changes end up being better and yada yada yada. So it's just interesting to see that.
Right. And I haven't followed the LCS as closely as I wanted to the past few weeks, just because I've been out of town and stuff. But
dog sitting, house sitting.
Yeah, pretty much jumping in mud, fucking swamp things. But yeah, you know it. I am kind of excited to see if this is the year West can beat the East.
Yeah, no.
Speaking of LCS, did you decide if you were going to come up here for LCS? Like, even if you don't come up here, like, you could literally take a Bolt bus.
I don't have tickets.
Alright, so I was looking at that, and I'm like, actually, I'd probably be down for coming up just to hang out, even if I can't get LCS tickets.
Yeah.
But the LCS finals are on Labor Day weekend, and I just realized a little earlier today that I'm presenting at a panel that weekend called Escape Velocity.
What are you going to be talking about?
It's a science fiction convention, so it's just a panel on like science fiction and esports or something. So I'll probably talk about StarCraft. And I know, and the professor with my MBA program is going to be there too, and he was a big into Halo, and Halo has an esports scene as well. So
I need to meet your professor.
He was like a pro in Halo 3, maybe. He was in like college or something.
Oh, really? Because I went to MLG Dallas and competed for Halo 3, so I probably was in the same room as your professor.
Fuck. Well, when I say he was a pro, I mean he competed like regionally in Georgia. I don't know if he traveled or if he was like super successful, but I know he like played at a very high level. But yeah. So
What a freaking nerd!
I'm like, all right, if my panel's one day on the weekend, can I take a fucking bus like after my panel and come up? I don't know. So I don't know if I can work that out. I'm actually really sad.
Maybe Amber can take your ticket from Cheney. Amber, come down.
That would be interesting. When is it again?
Labor Day weekend. Labor Day weekend.
Yeah, you see, I'm Canadian. I don't freaking know.
Wait, Reza. When's Labor Day weekend?
Oh my fucking god! It's the first weekend of September.
Oh
it's
shit! Yeah, it's the same freaking weekend as freaking PAX.
It's in 3 weeks. 3 weeks and 2 days.
I don't know. Maybe there's an Alan Walker concert that I really want to go to with Alan Van Buren, and I'm just like,
or you can come visit me at Escape Velocity in Washington D.C.
Do I look like a nerd too? Like,
yes.
You want to?
I mean, honestly, do you want to ask that question?
No.
Wait, you should totally hit me up with your professor. I want to talk to your professor.
Yeah, same here. He can be my sugar daddy.
Okay, I don't want that, but I just want to talk to him about Halo and stuff.
Speak for yourself, Austin. I'm
not against having a sugar daddy. I would love that, but not from Rez's professor.
How old is your professor?
Weird relation. He's 30. What the? Alright, okay. Let's move on to the other topic.
Moving on to a not like this moment of the. Alright, what's next, Brad?
Girl.
Get us back on topic.
Okay.
I believe the right term is woman.
Woman. So another hot topic that was I think it's hot off the press an hour or 2 hours ago. Dota 2 announced they're releasing their own card game.
Wow. Training card
hot
game?
Off the press. You heard it here probably first.
Shout out to Polygon and the Rift Herald journalism companies.
That's really cool, though.
As much as I love Polygon, I hate Polygon.
I don't have a big relationship with them. I just know somebody who works there. She's the head of their League of Legends department, actually.
Ew.
Which is actually pretty fucking... What is this picture? Why is she in the position? Oh, fuck.
Why not?
Okay. So as cool as I think it... Alright, so if I was an avid Dota player, I would be so excited about this because I get really into lore and backstory. I was actually just DMing a D&D campaign today. But hey, shut up. No. So I'd be really excited, but there's so many card games coming out right now.
Wait, have you guys seen the new Rick and Morty season?
Yes.
You know what? You know when the wind whispers at Jerry.
Oh,
that's just what I thought of when she was like, "No."
No, I don't want to be Jerry.
You're Jerry. I don't think anyone does. I'd rather be Summer.
Oh God. Pickle Rick.
Pickle Rick. Oh my God. Speaking of Pickle Rick, did you know this Szechuan sauce is going for I think $4,500 on eBay?
That's goddamn crazy. That's almost as much as
and people literally say, "Oh, you need a high IQ to enjoy Rick and Morty." That's just bruh.
Yeah, no.
That's not a high IQ.
That's not how Rick
Just
and
'cause-
Morty works.
Just because this show has like science theme, it's not fucking like an intelligent show.
Yeah, I mean, like,
No.
he turned himself into a fucking pickle. Like, okay. Like,
To get out of freaking therapy.
yeah, okay, let's not spoil it now.
All right,
It's literally in the first minute.
Yeah, I know, that's what I told Alan, and Alan's like, stop spoiling. So,
right. That $4,000 is almost as much money as I spend on trading card games. So, no, I actually have only spent $2 on Hearthstone. But yeah. So I mean, I'm really excited for this. But Shadowverse is becoming kind of big, which is another Hearthstone's biggest competitor right now. Gwent is also just being released. I don't know if it's officially released, but I know that beta.
It's officially been released, but it's not that.
Elder
good.
Scrolls made their own card game, Elder Scrolls Legends, so that's coming out.
Okay, actually, I really like that game. I thought it was pretty fun when I first started playing, but there was no hook. There was nothing that, like, kept me playing.
Huh. Wait, but Austin, you play literally anything.
Okay,
I
play a lot of games.
You're like a whore of.
I play a lot of games.
Also,
I'm not saying I don't respect your opinion, but you saying, dude, this new game is fun, check it out. Like, I'm kind of taking it with a grain of salt.
Okay, but
unless you can elaborate on your claim.
I did elaborate when I talked about Gigantic. I was like, the game is fucking smooth. I was like, the game is like smooth as smooth can be. That game was really fun, but like the problem I had with it, like there was so many movement options, and like you'd move so far, and it's almost like, you know, when you like run really fast and you take a second to like have to stop yourself. Like that's what I felt like moving in that game. Like you're going like so fast all over the place, and then you have to take a second to like slow down. It's like a deceleration period before you can like turn in a different direction. It's like crazy. But that game was fun, and I do have to say I'm not allowed to talk about it. This is a reason why I haven't like told you guys anything. Because I didn't sign an NDA to play it. But the Keystone Alpha.
Wait, so you're just gonna talk about it right now?
I can say that it exists because that's a given.
Okay.
You can go to their website; that's public knowledge, and you can sign up for the Keystone Alpha. I highly recommend if you like.
I got accepted. It's just I haven't downloaded it yet.
Download it and play it, and tell me what you think. Like I'm curious. Like, I want to talk about it so bad, but I can't. Okay, but if you play it, Amber, we can talk about it together. Just please.
Then we can leave Reza out of this, and he can.
Oh God. Not like this, Daddy.
But it's pretty fun.
Now,
and
listen
honestly, Reza, I think you would be the most likely out of the three of us to enjoy it because of certain elements. That's all I'm gonna say.
Wait, now I'm really curious. What?
Just because of stuff I know about you. Like,
shit. What do you know about me? Fuck. I don't even know. I don't even know what games I would like more than others.
But yeah, I highly recommend it, especially for you, because...
because... Okay.
That's all I can do is rub my hands in anticipation. Like,
you're plotting the seeds of me joining on this jumping on this train.
I'm just imagining, like, Austin rubbing his hands together like a fly, like...
Oh, wait, is it a card game? Can you say anything about what type of game it is?
It's a shooter. It's like
shooter.
a MOBA.
Oh, okay.
It's not like a MOBA at all.
Oh.
I'd say it's more like a tower defense.
So it's like... That sounds very familiar.
Here,
why do you say it like that?
This is written down. I'm gonna quote.
Sounds like
I'm gonna put a quote out here. I'm gonna put a quote out here.
No.
Because this is written down on a website, so I can read this to you. Keystone is an intriguing new blend of first-person shooting, board gaming, and deck building, set in a stylish retro pulp 1970s era, and being developed by Digital Extremes, creator of Warframe.
Oh wow, that does sound interesting.
There's very little in the way of hard gameplay details and no in-game footage or screenshots available, but Digital Extremes certainly know how to do competitive shooters, and the mashup of genres is very interesting. It will take players on a journey through a multiverse that starts within a mystical board game. During matches, players will be able to use decks of cards that will offer power, weapons, and perks to get their edge on their opponents. It's a novel premise that seems to take Titanfall's card system and make it more integral to the gameplay. A game where first-person shooting skill and deck-building strategy are equally important in winning matches. First wave of tests starts 26th of May.
Thanks for reading the start test date.
Yeah, dude.
But wait, that sounds. So it's a deck building.
It's deck building, and there's a board game
game
component. Yeah.
What the fuck?
And it has this weird like 1970s vibe. It's very like okay, imagine like what sci-fi is like in the 1970s, and that's what the vibe of the game is. Like,
I think like Star Trek.
kind of, yeah.
Interesting. Very
Less
interesting.
Star Trek. I feel more like kind of like Meet the Robinson.
What?
Like those like Looney Tunes style, like the Martian type of
Yes.
sci-fi,
Yeah.
Ah, okay. Interesting.
like over the top, kind of cartoony.
So,
Yeah.
do you think it has interesting enough hook and maybe complexity to sustain a long-term audience?
Yes.
I don't
think
know.
there's definitely some balance issues, but yes, like playing the game is really fun. I would I'm like watching the patch notes like every day because they're patching every day, and just like watching what they're changing because I'm like trying to keep up on it, and the characters are really, really, really cool.
Huh. That is fascinating.
You don't sound fascinated.
I
am fascinated. Okay, even if I don't sound, I'm trying to like form an opinion on it, but I can't.
all right, listen. How about you just
So
sign up for
out.
it, get accepted, and we all play it together, and then we can
Yeah,
talk
I'd
about
actually
it
probably be
at
down.
a very limited level.
This whole podcast is just a setup to advertise this one game, dude.
Yep.
Sponsors.
Speaking of card games though, and new releases, fucking Knights of the Frozen Throne is coming out Thursday, which is tomorrow. Because starting Wednesday, it's 1 a.m. I'm so hyped. Arthas is my favorite Warcraft character, and Warcraft is my favorite game lore out of any game franchise.
I can see
So
that.
this is like-
I definitely agree with you on game lore. I wouldn't say like
Yeah.
Warcraft is my favorite game, but
Yeah, but I think Blizzard usually does a fantastic job with story. And
story
I'm
and
waiting
cinematics.
since the Hearthstone beta was announced to play the Lich King. And I fucking haven't been able to. You can get Arthas as a paladin hero. I'm like nerding out over this shit.
I really wanted them to like actually add class. I know it'd be so hard for balance, but I wanted them to just like add a class.
Yeah.
How cool would it be? Like they don't tell anybody about it, and like day of release, they're like, "Yeah, by the way, Death Knight's now a class." Like, you can play.
Dude, that's the dream.
And then they drop like all the previous expansions. They make like custom cards for that. So like if you got like previous card packs, you get like a certain amount of free cards for the class. I don't know. Like I don't know how they would fucking do
No,
it.
don't
Holy
give me a hard on yet.
But like imagine
That would actually be
the
really
possibilities.
cool.
Wait, me getting a hard on?
No.
Okay, well that would be scientifically biologically really cool. But because I don't know how that would happen. But yeah, one complaint I've had is that I don't like the balance design approach the Hearthstone dev team makes, where it's very similar to the StarCraft, where they're like, let's just balance things when expansions come out. And then you have like a whole fucking year of like infestor dumbass like Zergs topping the StarCraft meta, or you have pirate warriors and pirate shamans for like fucking 3 months straight.
The worst was just when like Shaman itself was
Yeah, just not anything in particular, just the fucking class. was,
basically just like
ridiculous.
Totem Golem and like and like the
Totem-
4 mana 7/7s. Fucking
Yeah.
I can't. Can't do.
Do either of you still play Hearthstone at all?
No, I
yeah.
suck at the game. Oh my god, you guys are fucking nerds.
I was
Die.
considering buying like 50 packs of Frozen Throne
my
cards
God.
because
Child.
I was too.
because every
my
expansion I've
God.
always bought 50 card packs. Just
Okay.
because I don't buy games anymore. So essentially, I justify it by like buying, like when expansions come out, I'll like buy it and I'll be like, oh, that's my game.
Yeah.
Because
I mean, it's cheaper than a real like standard game.
Yeah. So I was thinking about buying it, and then I got the Guild Wars 2 because the engineer in the Guild Wars 2 expansion looks really fucking savage. Makes like he bends light into like physical weapons. It's like so cool.
So he's like a paladin?
Kind of, yeah. Like he makes.
He's like Symmetra.
A little bit like both. He makes like he has a range attack that he like makes a light like phaser rifle thing, and it's weird how he plays. He plays kind of like Rumble, where like when he uses his abilities, he gains heat, and then he like explodes to do more damage. Like,
oh,
it's an interesting.
That
mechanic.
has a lot of opportunities for innuendo.
Oh man!
Oh, I'm just
What is
getting
wrong with you?
so
Innuendo.
Wait, how have I never heard that?
Wait, really? That's like a really common pun. I'm surprised you've never heard. Amber's just stunned in silence.
So would you recommend Guild Wars 2? Is that like is PvP
It's such
still
an old
very
game.
active? Yeah, because I haven't heard much about it for like the past 3 years.
Well, I just bought the two new expansions. I haven't actually explored them yet. I bought them yesterday, and then I was feeling sick, so I didn't.
Are they actually new, or do you mean you just like haven't stopped playing and now you're catching up?
So like I haven't played since either of the expansions were released. One came out like a year ago. I bought that one because it was on sale if you bought the new one, like if you pre-ordered the new one. And the new one comes out like early September. So I pre-ordered the new one and got the old expansion. So I've been playing the old. Which, by the way, like, I'm a Necromancer main, and I've always had a max level Necromancer, like, since, like, I think day 3. I think day 3 of Guild Wars 2, I had a max level Necromancer. So, so I'm, like, really into Necros, and their expansion from Maguma gave him access to, like, the Reaper trait line, and Reaper's just, like, a badass motherfucker, and I'm, like, really disappointed in the new, like... You get the new elite specialization for the one that comes out in a month. It's like a support necro, and I don't want to fucking play a support necro. I don't want to like buff and debuff people. I want to fucking do damage. I want to like eat their souls.
Want to be like a zombie.
I'm just gonna interrupt you for a second there, Austin. I'm gonna rephrase what you said, and you can kind of see
God,
what maybe
the
wrong
chat,
with that
no.
statement. Yeah, I really like Necro.
Oh, shut up.
God.
Necros.
Somebody just needs to take that sound clip. Well, now both of you said it, so... really.
Fuck. Austin 2017!
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm running for president.
So how would you compare the Guild Wars in its current iteration compared to Elder Scrolls Online? Because I know you and Amber were both playing.
Elder Scrolls Online is more of like... I don't know. How I feel about it is that game is more a game to play by yourself or with a couple of friends. Like Guild Wars, or not Guild Wars, Elder Scrolls. Sorry, Elder Scrolls. You want to kind of play like solo or with a couple of friends. I don't know how the late game content is because I never honestly max my character. I'm still playing through the game, but it's nice to explore, and the music's really good. And it's very soothing. Like everything about the game is just like playing. Like, Skyrim, but with more people, and honestly, like that's how.
Yeah, honestly, that does sound really fun.
But in Guild Wars, I feel like Guild Wars I play to either play by myself or to do like massive, epic like world fights with other people, like 64 on 64 action, like straight up, like
God damn it!
I want to be in like the heated dick of things, or I want to be like on my own, like just farming. Like that's just how I feel. It's a lot like Guild Wars in the sense, or it's not like Elder Scrolls. I'm confused too. It's like Elder Scrolls in the sense that adventure is really rewarded, and like it's just a soothing game, and that's honestly why I it goes along with my not like this moment, but I had a really shitty day at work, so I just like bought the on a whim. I was like, yeah, I'll spend $50 to buy 2 expansions, and I just played it by myself.
That's it. Okay, so I'm in the chat with like 2 of our viewers, and they totally thought you said Gilmore Girls instead of Guild Wars. So
No.
Yeah, dude, Gilmore Girls is just a great sense of exploration.
Imagine Gilmore Girls as like
I've never seen the show, so I can't like make a retort that's like
relevant.
I totally would spend $50 on Gilmore Girls and its fucking extension.
You just need to come back and relax.
I hate everything.
Get more.
Anyway, but I highly recommend both. And Guild Wars 2 is actually free, so you could play the game and see if you like it. Why? I don't know.
Oh, you guys are talking about Guild? Oh shit! Not like this, dude. Yeah, maybe we should be clear about that.
No, I think we should be talking about Gilmore Girls. Imagine like a fucking like sitcom drama show, but instead of taking place in like nowadays, it's just like
what you're playing the characters.
Same universe as Game of Thrones.
I also want to point out that I just finished season 3 or 4 of House of Cards. I don't remember which season it was,
Nice.
but it's the one where Frank Underwood's like, "Listen,
wait,
you're nothing."
Spoilers.
You don't know who he's saying it to. You don't know who he's saying it to. He says that to everyone.
I'm caught up. I'm just saying for like Amber. Yeah, that was a fucking like brutal scene. I'm like,
yeah,
oh,
I was just like,
and don't plan on. So you guys can spoil.
And then Doug,
but not our viewers, not our baby.
Yeah, wait, you don't want an entire show dedicated to the glory of the U.S. political system?
Well, wasn't it based? It was also based on like a British TV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just
which I tried watching and it was really bad.
Oh god. Fuck.
I got really drunk and I thought it was a good idea, and then I fell asleep in the middle of it because it was boring.
Damn. Okay, well, in the interest of time, I think we've been going for about 90 minutes-ish. Let's move on to the not like this moments, unless you guys have any final thoughts on like card games or maybe.
Oh yeah, I actually have one little plug. Someone's developing Yu-Gi-Oh for full VR.
Whoa! Oh my goodness!
I would play that.
Like,
although it would have
VR,
to be...
sorry, AR.
Oh, that's even
okay.
That's just as cool. But
yeah.
I just fucking hate the Yu-Gi-Oh meta. I'm sorry, like that game fucking blows now. Like, I want to play it for nostalgia purposes, but I know if I jump into it, it's just gonna be all these guys like, hey, my 6 samurai one-shot you from turn 1, and it's just like, oh, fucking god.
Oh my goodness.
Like, the meta literally became, like, if you're playing in 6 samurai and you didn't draw, like, one of these like a specific card, you lost the game in 1 turn. Like, that's when I stopped playing.
Jesus. Yeah, I'll be honest, I'm not even, like, into Yu-Gi-Oh! I was never, like, a big Yu-Gi-Oh! Fan. But, like, just how iconic it is in terms of, like, westernized, like, animes and how big I know people... how big of an influence it's had on a lot of people's lives. Like, I'm hyped for them. Like, I can get...
Yeah.
I'm siphoning off the potential hype.
I also loved, like, the early days of Yu-Gi-Oh! Like, the game itself was pretty fun, and I didn't have a problem with it. And I also really like the design of the cards. I think a lot of, like, the card sets are, like, actually... gorgeous, like just as art forms.
I have a question for you. Do you think the Yu-Gi-Oh meta has become terrible with the release of the newer cards and like newer things people have come up with? Or was it still terrible when you were young and you're just too bad to realize?
Well, I think they were both terrible in different senses. I think like when it first came out, the game was very basic, so it was like meant for kids like me, and that's why I liked it. But it was basic, and that was its fault. And then they started like ramping up the complexity, and at some point they hit like a critical level where the game was good, and they just needed to like balance it and add more support for different variants that were played. And then they just decided, fuck that, let's just add more complexity and more variants instead of giving support to the ones that are already there. And they're like, let's make it to where you can win a game in like 20 seconds or less. Like that's. I'm just like,
yeah, that's a very interesting thing, because I feel like the thing about Yu-Gi-Oh is like I'm not really sure how the rules work, but like for example, for Magic, like I don't play Magic, but I know enough about the rules. Like there are like every time period they kind of have like, okay, you're allowed to play these cards, you're not allowed to play these cards, and then some cards are kind of just like kicked out. That's not the case for Yu-Gi-Oh! So like people can build like super strong decks if they have the fucking money. And kids, they're not the ones who are the quote unquote like target audience anymore. Like
yeah, I could see that. They like try to grow up the depth with the like age of the players.
Yeah, exactly. So like, and if you look at a Pokemon trading card game, like right now and before, like the target audience basically stayed around the same age. They're still all pretty young, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if you see like games like Yu-Gi-Oh, if you see games like Magic, there's such a large like, like age difference. Like they're literally like super old adults and like super young kids who like have no idea what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah,
they're just wanting to have fun. Yeah. So it's
I also still play on occasion the Pokemon card game when I get bored. And
I was always a fan of the Pokemon card game, but I like to battle with them. And whenever I was at like camp in elementary school, if anyone even cared about Pokemon cards, they're like, I just collect them, and I'll be like, no, I want to fight people. Yeah, and then everyone would be playing Yu-Gi-Oh, and I'd like sit there like, man.
When I was little, I would only collect them, but like I actually didn't start playing the game until I was like 15. And when it was, I don't know what exact age it was, but it was whenever they released the online version, because I didn't want to buy cards. Because I already like threw out my cards from when I was little, or like lost them gradually over the years. Like, right. So I didn't want to like buy them.
Misplaced.
Yeah. So like when they released their client, I like tried it out, and it was pretty fun. And they give you 3 free card decks just to play.
Oh,
cool.
So you can like start the game, play, and you can. It's just like Hearthstone, where you can get everything with in-game money.
Oh, nice. So, do you think that's going to beat out all the hip new card games?
No, because it hasn't, and it's been out for years. So.
Oh yeah, I guess when you're 15. Okay, well, do either of you particularly have an itching not like this moment you want to get off your chest?
I think I have more than one. Today I have 2. Both are pretty drastic. Number 1, okay. Today, they were doing maintenance on the electricity in my building. I was without electricity for 10 hours.
Oh, yeah. That sucks.
No computer. It's not bad. It's like a nice, like, maybe like 77, 78 Fahrenheit.
Yeah.
So not too bad.
It was like 66 here today.
Yeah, I'm like my preferred temperature is around like 71, 72 Fahrenheit. But
Yeah. Okay. So that wasn't too bad, but.
Like, I couldn't do anything productive. I couldn't do anything. I was sick, so yay! I got the day off. But I couldn't watch Netflix. I couldn't make myself soup. I couldn't make myself more soup. So I had to go
more
out.
soup.
I had to go out.
And socialize, God forbid.
God forbid. Actually,
Fuck.
it was horrible. And like I was supposed to have an acupuncture today, but I felt so horrible that I went home. And then I was just like, please let the electricity go back on, but it wasn't back on. I had to climb up 8 flights of freaking stairs
Oh,
while almost puking.
Wait, so does acupuncture actually work? 'Cause
I
look at it,
increases my pain tolerance.
yeah, because like I look at it and I'm like, okay, well this has been around for like God fuck knows how long, but they're stabbing you with needles.
Okay, honestly, like
voluntarily.
it's really interesting the acupuncture that I do. Like, yeah, they're stabbing a needle about an inch into your muscle.
Oh jeez.
It's kind of really, it's not that painful because the needle is really, really thin. What's really weird? Oh my god, Danny, no. It's what's really weird is they mix it with electrotherapy. So they send electric shocks into the needles.
Electrotherapy is fine. There's a lot of like.
So does it make your muscles contract?
Yeah, it does actually. But you know how electrotherapy is? They typically just like tape something onto your skin,
Yeah.
and then. But this is like inside
It's in your
muscle.
body.
Yeah. So
Oh,
they
geez.
send like minor shocks, and they end up doing contractions, and yeah, and it's
And then
really
you have
interesting.
a new baby.
Okay, maybe
Or you
not
could just
that.
take three really deep breaths a day and be fine with stress. Like.
Oh, it's not the stress.
Oh my
It's
God.
like their logic is that it like because sometimes like the like problems within your body is because like some nerves aren't connected in the right way, and like sometimes like for me like one of my sicknesses is because like this is actually from like Western doctor. It's not like some weird Asian voodoo bullshit. It's literally like, hey, it seems that one of your like brain signals isn't sending the message to your like your body to produce like a certain type of hormone. So there's a complete disconnect between that. So what they're trying to do with electrotherapy is kind of like trying to manually create that,
Right.
like
Dr. Frankenstein style, right?
kind of, but I'm not really sure how that fucking works and if it's legit or not, and I'm just basically doing it for so my mom would stop begging me. But you know what, like I've been feeling a little better, but
Nice.
I don't know how it's gonna work in the long run. But yeah, acupuncture is actually pretty painful. They're like typically if you do acupuncture, it's if you're doing it in like your torso, like your chest, your stomach, that doesn't hurt. It's when they hit the more sensitive parts of your body, like your skull, your face.
What? Isn't that too like if you stick it in too deep? Doesn't that like puncture your
No,
skull?
that's the thing. You can't like
stick it in deeper.
Oh, God. Hey, go back to your neck.
Now Reza has a soundbite we could use too. When they stick it in too deep, doesn't it get into your skull or something? Like, okay.
That is not how skull fucking works. Anyway.
Headshot. Fucking spaghetti.
But yeah, like it's really interesting to say the very least. It's been around for a really long time, and it's the first time I've seen it integrated with like modern technology. So like it's really interesting because it forces some of your like muscles to move as well, and just like it stimulates nerve activity between two areas, and it's but like it's fucking painful. Like okay, for those who are listening right now, including you two, like make an L with your fingers.
All right.
And then like your thumb is out and your first finger is out, and then like imagine a needle right in the curve.
No, not
maybe 2
that like
centimeters
skin thing.
Ow.
and yeah, in there, and then like another point is like look at your like wrist, like with your hand, like palm face up. Take your 4 other fingers, put it on top of like starting from like the bottom of your palm to like the end of like the end of your hand, and there's supposed to be like a pressure point there. Imagine like a needle 1 inch deep there, and it's like all muscle, and it's just like oh.
Imagine
And
it 1 inch
people-
deep all muscle.
yeah, in there.
Oh.
And
Alright.
it's really weird because like it's just like, oh, it's not that bad. It's only like 7 needles, right? No, the most I had to do was 60. So fuck.
Oh god. What 60?
Wow.
Yeah,
I
that's
just imagine somebody taken from a universe or a culture where that's not a thing, and they just accidentally walk in on somebody who's like has the acupuncture. They just sit there like, what the fuck is going on in here? What kind
Oh,
of
yeah.
weird ass torture chamber is this?
yeah, that's my not like this moment number 1. Shoot, what was my not like this in the moment number 2? I had
Well,
something. You know what? You guys
If
go
you
ahead.
think about
and
it,
come
yeah,
back
you
to
can
me.
come back.
Mine was today. I got like I have these vitamins. And these
Is it
vitamins.
another poop story?
No.
Oh my god, is it about drugs making you poop?
No.
Okay.
Damn it. That's
So,
not interesting.
I have these
then.
vitamins, and they make me like
Poop.
I didn't put 2 and 2 together until very recently, but I very recently found out that if I eat them on an empty stomach, they make me like they're just like
yeah, I've
they're
heard
just
that
like
about some drugs.
yeah, they're just like multivitamins. But so I came home today and fucking took one because I was like, oh, I'm getting sick. Like I know I'm getting sick, I can feel it. So I need to take this multivitamin because it has vitamin C in it. That'll help somewhat. Take it without fucking eating, and I'm already sick. And I'm just like for like an hour, I'm just like feeling like vomiting so much. Just-
Wait, you didn't get food after that?
I did get food after that, but it took like an hour to make because fucking
shit.
rice cooker takes forever.
Yeah.
Damn.
Rip. God.
And then my other not like this moment is every single time I work at the pharmacy, every single customer.
Oh.
That's it. That's all I need to
Jesus.
say.
There's no one that's pleasant.
There are pleasant people. It's just the fact that I still have to be there. Like, the people, like
Well,
some
you
of the
feel-
people are really pleasant, but I still have a shitty.
Oh
True.
Alright.
shit, I just remembered my not like this, so I'm gonna interrupt you very quickly.
Alright.
This one's really sad. Guys, I just recently found out I'm allergic to cherries.
Oh shit!
Wait,
I
that
love
sucks.
cherry.
Rainier cherries, especially. Rainier cherries are the best.
Yeah.
Not like I touch cherries and I get a rash, but if I eat cherries, I will get extremely nauseous.
Right. Well, I mean, I don't enjoy cherries by like rubbing them on my naked body. But
Yeah, I
Yeah.
like to rub cherries on my nipples.
God.
I'd be
acupuncture.
the kind of guy where I hear like someone say that, and I just pop up with like a jar of maraschino cherries, and I'm just like, all right,
Let's fucking go.
Right.
Okay, sorry for interrupting you, Reza. You can go ahead with your not like this now.
Alright. So mine happened exactly a week from right now. Because so last week I did the quick cast while I was still at a different house, dog sitting. And I'm trying to look for a job. And Amazon had this giant ass 50,000 like job hire day last Wednesday. And I figured out about that event at like 11 p.m. I love sitting on dogs. That's just weird. I don't even know how to respond to that. But so I figured out about that like 10, 11 p.m. And then I'm like, oh shit, well, I have to do the quick cast because the thing started at 8 a.m. and so it's open 8 to 12, and I'm like, all right, well, if they're giving out like 50,000 jobs then there's gonna be a lot of people there. And what they're gonna do is they tour you in the factory, they interview you, and hire you on the spot. So it's like a guaranteed job. So I want to get there at like 8, just so that I could be there and get in and out more quickly. But I was at this other house, and I didn't have my passport. And if they're hiring on the spot, they need proof of like eligibility of employment. So I didn't have my social security card like on me when I went to this house, because like, why the fuck would I need it to dog sit, or my passport, because it was not in another country, in case you were wondering. So I did the quick cast. I ended it at like 1 a.m. or something. Then I fucking drove home, which is a 40-minute drive. I drove back, and then I got back. The dogs were like super like anxious because I had been out of the house and there's nobody in the house, and they're like, "Oh my god, you're back finally!" So I had to like calm them down for like a half hour. Then I like got ready for bed, went to bed, woke up like 3.5 hours later to fucking drive more than a half hour into Baltimore. And then I get there at about 8:15. The entire parking lot is almost full, and I get in line at number about 700.
Oh my god.
So I'm sitting there like, holy shit. But I mean, I kind of chatted with some of the people that were in line, and it's kind of enjoyable. And I was like, is this even worth it to get a job? I'm like, no, I want a job, so I'll just fucking, if I just wait it through, then I can get it. And this is in Baltimore, so and I live like right around DC, so I didn't want, or I couldn't get actually a job like during the weekdays, because I also tutor. So I was looking just for any kind of part-time shifts on the weekends, because I mean, I can drive over to Baltimore like on the weekends if it's for like an 8-hour shift, but I first of all, I wouldn't be able to with my schedule, and also driving during rush hour on a weekday into Baltimore from DC is like over an hour and a half, because it was like on the other side of the city. So I'm waiting in line. I wait for 5 fucking hours, and I had my friend kind of stop by the house to make sure the dogs were okay. But I get to the front of the line, and they're like, all right, here's your raffle ticket to get on the tour. They're calling out tours by raffle ticket numbers because they had so many people. Wow. And they give me a list of the schedules for the positions they're hiring. Literally not a single one is weekend only. They all have at least one weekday from like 7 a.m. to 5 p.m., 5:30 p.m. It was like a super long workday also. So I'm looking at it like, wait, is this real life? They have 0 weekend shifts for like an entire new like processing plant they're opening. So I go to the people organizing it, and I'm like, hey, are these shifts like non-negotiable, or is there any way I can like work around hours? And they just look at me like, dude. Well, they look at me like, dude, and they say, these are the only shifts we have open at this time, so we can't really change them. So I'm like, goddamn kidding me? Fucking
all that effort,
fucking no sleep, drove all the way to Baltimore, waited 5 hours in the hot ass sun, problem. 90 degrees.
You went to Baltimore.
I mean, okay, but then I couldn't fucking get a job where it was guaranteed. So I just like walked slowly back to my car and just drive home in silence, like, what am I doing with my life?
Ugh, that sucks. Well, I already told you I can get a job here, but
yeah. Well, did they ever even get back to you?
Who?
The people that were renting that apartment.
The nerds.
No, but the thing is, if you were to move here, I have another friend. Look for.
Yeah. Okay. Well, anyways.
Doable. Just saying.
You know what else is doable?
Please don't tell
your
me.
Mom.
My mother is a wonderful woman.
Coming from Austin, I thought he was gonna say corpses.
Yeah, I agree.
Not corpses, skulls.
Okay. No, that's Amber IRL. Getting skull penetrated.
Ugh. Anyways, it's a good note to leave it off on.
Yeah, alright, thank you, friends. I think this is a long episode, like almost 2 hours.
Hour and a half.
Maybe.
Hour and a half.
I didn't track exactly when we started, but alright.
We started at 12:30.
Okay, cool.
Oh my god.
Kink
We're not the
cast,
kink.
baby. Winky
We're
face.
not the kink. Oh my. Go kill yourself.
Jeez.
Don't actually, I love you.
Alright, on that note, I have it in quotes. Amber loves me. Thank you everyone for watching. Go out and play Knights of the Frozen Throne or that new weird ass game Austin was describing, but not describing due to the NDA.
Oh yeah.
And
Play it. Yes. Fucking go out there
and
apply
drop
for Keystone. Also play Drop Zone for memes, but play Keystone because it's a good game.
Alright.
I thought we were supposed to play Uconnect now.
Wait. Actually, Reza, though, it takes like one. Just put in your email so you can apply for the.
Yeah,
Okay.
well, once we go offline. Alright. Peace out.
Bye.